Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Monday, December 19. And starting with the 10-year yields here, we're looking at, well, the top here is wave 3 or wave C. That's what we need to figure out. In both cases, we'll be coming lower. So as a wave 4 here, we can come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2% retracement level, which is at the upper end of this band here. And currently down through here, we could view that as a 5-wave structure. So if we just have a quick look in here, I don't have it labeled, but if you can stay there with me for a moment, is wave 1 here, and wave 2 back here is the counter trend coming back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave here, and then the fourth wave here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the fifth wave. So the fifth wave is here. So we've got, in a way, we've got 5 waves here. So we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave to rally here. It can pull back up 61.8%. It could come in where all these open and closes are through here. That's obviously something of importance here. This leg here will be roughly the same as this leg, so it may not rally that much, but because we've got 5 here, we're going to see some type of correction and then another move down at that point. And it's, you know, when we get down here, we'll have a 3-wave move, and we'll just see how that plays out. If it starts going up here and we can see that this is going to be left as corrective, then we'll look to the 5% yield up here for that. And like I said before, if we do get 5 waves up from the low here of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here, then we're going to have a counter trend correction, and then we're going to have another 5 up. That's where the damage will be done, I'm afraid. So everybody's waiting for the correction and the end of the world and all the rest of it, but it actually always things take much longer than one expects, as you know, when we're doing things ourselves. So yeah, we'll just see if this becomes corrective, then we're going to end up here. If we get 5 waves down here to the lower end of wave 4 here, then we've got a good chance of wave C being in place, and let's hope it's that. Okay, over to the Dixie. So we've probably got a top in here, but I don't have any evidence for that, So we need to treat the move down as being corrective and also impulsive. We need to look at it 2 ways. When we're looking at this number here, it's a CFD, so it's got a couple of decimal points in there, but 100 for the Dixie there. It's very normal for a market to be pulled down to this number here. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to get at this point. Yes, it still could be corrective. I mean, we could end up with, it's quite probable that we're going to end up with 5 waves down here, 3 waves here, and 5 waves down here. Now, beyond that, I wouldn't know if it was going to be corrective or impulsive at that point, but if we get 5 here, then we're going to get 5 over here. I can see how the rest of all of it, not just this, but going back and back, can be counted in different ways. So it's not that helpful. We can play around with it and entertain ourselves, and we'll do that from time to time. But staying here with our feet on the ground, if we do get 5 down here, then we'll get a correction and down again. I mean, even if we got 3 waves down, we're likely to get a correction and down again. But if we only get 3 waves down, like an A and a B and wave 5 to this point, and get a decent correction, then we've got 3 waves here. Yes, we could continue up at that point, but it'll be likely that we'll be lingering around the 100. So I know the trading levels pretty well and what a market does at them. So we would see it have a bounce here either way. So one way or another, expect to be pulled down to this area and see a bounce at that point. So yeah, there's different ways to count this down. We're looking at when this started here, we could go, okay, we'll count this as 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5 here, and we could keep expanding it out, and all I'm doing is expanding it out further. So we're at wave 3 here at the moment, and we should see this here as some sort of A, B, C pattern here for wave 4. and then down for wave 5 at that point. That's how I'm sort of looking at it. We probably need to put this as wave 1. If that's the case here, we'll get a bounce off here, and we'll, you know, as another bounce, and then down again at this point. That will give us 5 waves down. If that's the case, then we get an ABC, and then we go down again after that. So I think that's pretty much the pathway. When we're working with wave 4s, they are a little bit tricky. We'll go into the 2-day 2K tick chart, intraday chart here, and have a look at where we are at the moment. So if we consider this as wave 3 here, we've got a reasonable case to, you know, from this wave 4 as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty reasonable. You know, it scrunches up towards the end a bit, and there is an overlap in 4 and 1 and so on. So I'll take that on board. I know where the errors are. I'll just see how this climbs here at this point. We can look for wherever this low is here. There's different ways to count this so far at this particular point. Unless that top gets taken out, we can look at this as an ABC pattern here, and if that's the case and it takes that B wave, this low out here, which will be the 50-60% here, then we'll know that that's corrective. You know what I mean? So what I mean here is that if this moves down here and takes that low out here, then we could put this B wave over here, for example, and build a bigger case, because we kind of want to get up here a little bit further, you know, into testing group 2 here, this wave 4 here of 1 lesser degree. So we'll be up here we should be up here further. So yeah, we'll just see. I mean, if we can nip that top out there, which we haven't yet, we talked about this morning, and we can see that Asia's opened down on this particular case. It might be the A, the B, and the C for the B wave here, and then push up. But so far, it's looking a little bit corrective, I have to say, because of this 3-wave move here. But yeah, it's not over until the big lady sings, so we'll just keep a bit of an eye on it and see how it moves. But yeah, look, bottom line is expect this up, and expect the euro and the pound to the downside. Over to US spot gold here. You know, I've got this counted up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. It's sort of okay, but I'm not sold on it just yet either. And also too, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end to a trend, and we're at the end of it here. So we don't need to do anything here for a while in terms of looking for trades. You know, this could come down here further. I could bring this down. You know, even if we did, just let's shoot the breeze here, even if we did make a new high here, it still doesn't matter. We still need, whichever way we go, if we're going to go long, we need this trend here corrected, you know. And it's just not corrected yet, you know. And there is, on some stocks, our NCM, Newcrest Mining, we kind of see that it does need another move up, but we've got here as 1 and 2 and 3 here. Doesn't really finish off as a nice 5th wave here. I mean, obviously we could look at this as some sort of corrective wave 4 into here and wave 5 to here. It has made a 5-wave move, so we could jig it around, but still, whichever way I look at it, I don't see that we've got this yet. Right, I think we're still in this. I can see that it's tired and it's not going anywhere, so don't worry. Don't think you're missing out in case it goes up, edges up a little bit. Don't get lured into that. That's just not where we're at the moment. We need it to pull back, and we need a proper setup. And if we get the setup across the level here, this 1800 classic trading levels pattern, great, we'll take it. But otherwise, we just need to wait on that. When I was looking at silver, I had silver there somewhere. Silver, where are we? Silver was here somewhere. It's spot silver. With silver here, from the top here, it looks like we've got 5 waves here, and the little move down here, then an A and a B and a C would be the best way to handle that, and then down for the 3rd wave here, the 4th, and scrunching up into the 5th wave down. So probably an ABC pattern here and down again. So this is probably the pathway for gold and silver. Further downside, but a little bit more to the upside first, as some sort of ABC pattern. Yeah, with GDX here, you know, I'd like to get 5 waves to the top here, but I can't see it so far. I've got 1 and 2 here. I could look at this as 1 and 2. I suppose I could put wave 2 over to here, but then it doesn't really give me 5 waves here to do that, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It doesn't quite give me that, but mind you, it doesn't really give me a nice 5-wave structure here as well. But I don't want this wave 2 here getting too big over here. So basically 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nice third wave here. Fourth wave, 1, 2, 3, ABC for the fourth and the fifth wave. So really I've only got 3 waves up so far. So I was thinking I really need, you know, if US spot gold made another move to the upside here, then I wouldn't be surprised, you know, but we still need this this correction over here. We need this trend rebalanced here. At the same time, at 30 here, if I was looking for a long trade, I would still be looking for a classic trading levels pattern, which is the arrival, the reaction here, the first high above the level, then the ABC correction. So that would give us 5 waves up there if we got that. So that's what I'm thinking. And I just thought, well, let's just see, you know, as a wave 4 here, for example, if we take this low and this high, and we go to the 38.2%, which is here, so we could take the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and the 38.2%. So if it does just come back down to there and goes up, that's fine. If it goes below that, then we'll look at it being a wave 2. But I mean, I really also need to consider it being an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't have that 5-wave structure yet. So anyway, our long trade is a long way off, because for the long trade, we'll either need to come back here in 3 waves, and then we would buy the B wave top as an A, and a B and a C wave would buy the B wave top here, or we're going to end up having some smaller pattern here and then going up and then having the ABC pattern. So I don't see anything for a while. If we get a clear 5-wave move to here, then I'll be excited about buying the pullback, but I'm just not excited enough at the moment. It's just not there for me just yet. So yeah, anyway, I mean, we're talking about confirming a low for gold, so you know, I mean, we can't just go off something that's half cocked here, you know. I mean, we need something, we need a nice 5-wave structure here, and it's not like we're going to miss anything, because we're going to catch that 3rd wave and then, you know, all the rest of it as well. So yeah, confirming this is important. Okay, so over to the base metals here, and we'll be looking at copper and nickel on these charts, and then for uranium and lithium we'll go and have a look at some stocks for that. So with the nickel here, look, it looks very powerful, all of this move to the upside here. It looks fantastic. If we were going to have another long trade here, I need support on this number here, and quite simply we can look at, it's probably not the best 5 waves down, but it's okay as 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in here, 5 for the 3rd wave here, the 4th wave and the 5th wave. Not the best. And then we're just looking for a B wave up here. So, you know, we need, maybe I need to jig this around further as 1, 2, 1, ABC for 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the 3rd wave, put the 3rd wave here and the 4th wave here and the 5th wave here. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll just have a look at it first. I mean, I'm looking for the B wave here, because the B wave is, you know, we want that to come back. If we took this length here, you know, this current move up here is only at 23.6. We'd want to get it close to 50 at least, you know what I mean? So we don't have, whichever way you want to look at this, we don't have that B wave yet, and we need the B wave in there as part of our setup, because once this comes down here, we need that B wave there, and then there'll be the C wave here. Now, that B wave is where we can go long from, and then we look at the C wave that's come down here. If it's a lazy C wave, then we know it's a C wave, and that means we can buy more, get earlier entries in here. So we look for the wave 1 and 2 back here, and then we can look to build in, you know, 2 positions over this side, and then start building in on 1, 2 and 3 to the upside here. So we got a way to go before we you know, we're in this one as well. And of course we also need to be mindful that the whole move up can be, you know, just a counter trend of this whole move that's come down here from, you know, that debacle, you know, with the Chinese there. So So yeah, this could just all be a counter trend as an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit wobbly, you know, but you know, got to kind of look at it the best way we can. So we really want that 30 as a support, and we don't have that yet, you know, simple as that. So nothing we can do here. We're just monitoring the situation. And for copper, it's a little bit more slow, a bit of a turtle, but it's building nicely. I mean, I'm thinking that I don't know if the whole move up is corrective or not just yet. We could look at it as the A wave here. We could look at this as the correction here, sorry, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, bit not the best. It gives a bit impulsive here, but if we do take the top out here, then we can look at this building up to wave 5 over here. But even when it gets to wave 5 here, is that wave C, is that just an A and a B and a C here for wave 4 with an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up to here? Is that it? Because once again, we would need support on this level here for this. We'd need to move past that wave 4 here to confirm, you know, I mean, it's a pretty decent, you know, trend down here. We need that building block back up there, because it quite easily, you know, and this could also be a B wave up here as well. I mean, it's all wave 2, for instance, you know. We can't rule that out. If I put this here just as wave B, it's probably not a wave 2, but certainly you know, we don't know, you know, we just don't know. It's not like we've got a really nice impulse wave to the upside here, have we? I mean, it also counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So unless we take that top out there, we might need to consider, you know, this already being in play here and having this here, this 3-wave move here as an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here or something, you know. So looking at some sort of ending thing in here for the B wave and have the top sitting in here as wave C or 4 here, you know. I don't know. We'll just see. I mean, this counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but at the same time, this is also counting as 5 waves up here. So last time we spoke, we were looking at this as, do we get an A and a B and a C wave here and push up from that point, you know? What am I missing here, you know? Not seeing it just yet. But I don't think the market's going anywhere at this stage quickly, you know, because unless China's going to come in and play a role in, you know, restocking their supply of copper as such. And we're looking at BHP, you know, it pretty much owns the copper over this side of the world anyway. And, you know, BHP here, BHP, the ASX here, you know, it's a bit toppy here at the moment. And I think it's a little bit like iron ore as well. So with, if we can bring in iron ore here for a moment on the Australian market, which we looked at this morning. So this is iron ore out of Singapore, this one here. So in this particular instance here, it's a daily chart, a continuous futures contract. It goes back, you know, way back over yonder here. And we can see that we've got some sort of, you know, move down here that we could call an A wave, and then the B wave goes back up here. The A wave is sharper than wave C here, so it makes a nice A, B, and C here. And of course, what we've been doing, counting down from wave B down to wave C here, which is all good. And here we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're looking at a bullish move here, but we're at the top there of that bullish move. You know, somewhere at the top we needed to pull back. So that's, you can see it's just floating in thin air here, and it's not really pushing up any further than it is at the moment. So it's going to, you know, it might have another little move up, but eventually it's going to drop back in here and we'll pick it up. So really this is what gold is doing, silver's doing, copper's doing, in their own way. They're moving up into that. So we'll just, iron ore's another one. We'll just, and the stocks are doing that, like BHP and all the rest of them. So this is BHP here. Well, in that iron ore space, we got Rio Tinto, which is another one. All of this move up here, so we're waiting for this to top out and to pull back. There's pressure on them to do that, but we don't have that set up there just yet for any of these. We don't want to buy at the top. That's the thing, and this is just not, even though that this can, I'm quite comfortably can see this going higher. I can't prove that, and I don't have a good grip on this particular situation at the moment with this. To me, the whole thing looks corrective, but in terms of it being bullish, which is possible, I would need the closest largest number here as support here, and I'd need to see a move up, making a new high up here, and then I'll need to see the ABC. I need to see the counter trend, and then we can go long at that point. It's pretty much that simple. Can you go long and go up to here? Well, sure, day traders can do anything. That's not here nor there. We're talking about getting in a trend for stocks and those sorts of things. But all that said, I just don't like going long in front of big numbers anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's not, unless you're already been long down here, then that's a different story. And don't forget, we got this 5-wave structure coming because of this low here. I mean, if this low wasn't in place, I mean, that's not like it's a nice looking. You get 5 waves out of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can see that, but it has dropped below here. Maybe that, another platform doesn't have that as the low. It's this one here. We've got an ABC pattern here. It looks quite nice and impulsive up here so far. So we'll just see. I can't send you long in front of a big number, that's for sure. And crude oil. Okay, so with crude oil, we've been counting down in a big correction, and we've got this as the low, and then we were counting this up here, so we can squeeze 5 waves out of this. It's sort of doable. But I have to say, if this current low here, this 50-60% low here, if this is breached, then we basically have to turn bearish for crude oil. We'll be seeing this low get taken out, and there'll be further lows as well. So we won't look at the bearish pattern today, but I'm just saying that under here, then we need to be bearish at that point. So can we be bullish at this point? Look, as far as that's the high, and we've got this first move down here. This first move down here doesn't really count as 5 waves, does it? We could put this over here as well, an A wave here, then an A and a B wave here, and then the C wave to the downside. Quite a nice C wave with 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5. So it's all good looking and all the rest of it. It's not too bad. I don't have a nice clean impulse wave here, and there will be a resistance at this point, at this stage. So that will be, I'll just put it in the pocket, which is 62 to 65, and it's at the 50%, hit the 50% here. But still needs a little 1, 2 in here and 3, 4, 5 to move up a little bit higher. So look, it could fail as an A and a B and a C wave for the A wave here, then a B wave here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can have one more move here and then fail at that point. That's what it could do. So in terms of going long, then we want to be up in here in the spot, because normally we go long, would either, if we got a really nice 5-wave structure here, which we don't. If we did, that would make life easier, but we don't. We can't look at that as 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, because we've got a fair bit of overlap between this and that. Obviously we could look at it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here and building to the upside, but taking that B wave out here would be the catalyst for looking for long trades at that point. And it's not like that you over want to trade as well, because we have to be careful we just don't get some sort of A wave, B wave and C wave to here and then come down again. Do you know what I mean? So if we can get one small position in here, then we can look to add if the $80 becomes the support. So we don't need to put in a full trade at that point. It's still high risk at this stage, you know. The stakes are still too high. So if this gets breached, there will be a bounce off the 7 again, $70, and it won't go as high as this, of course, but it will come back up into some sort of supply area at 75, and then go down again at that point. So if that breaches, then we'll look at the bigger bearish picture, because we basically need to go into the monthly and weekly and daily, and then drill back into it. So I won't do that in this video. We'll do that in the next, if that low is breached. Okay, and that brings us to natural gas. And with natural gas here, you know, we can look at it in different ways. We can, this whole move up here, we can look at it as wave A up here. Now, this move down here, we can count this as 5 waves. It's a little bit dodgy in this area here, but apart from that, it's all pretty good to go. This move up here, we're looking for that retracement back up to the 50-60%, and it's done that, and it's done it, left it in a corrective pattern, whichever way you want to look at that. Can we look at this as the A wave here, an ABC for the B wave here, and a C wave down here? Can we look at this as a C wave here, and then have the B, so an A wave and a B wave here, and then going up for the C wave? It's possible, but the reason I don't like it for is because the C wave here is not the same size as this one here. It's shorter, and it didn't even make a new low here for this. But if it was that there, then this would be 1 and 2 here and going up for the 3rd wave. But I don't think that's the case. I think that we can have a push up here, don't get me wrong, because this move here appears to be in 5 waves here. But like I said, it might be just an A and a B and a C wave to here and then come down. Shit, it could come all the way down here for this. So I don't think that we're going to be going higher at this point. I mean, we will be going higher, but not, I don't think we're going to the moon, so to speak, you know. It's possible, but because of the C wave, it just there's no, I mean, there is a proportion between this and this. I understand that, but it should have been bigger. It should have made a new low here. I think we're still in, you know, I think we're still in a correction. So we could have this here as the A wave here, the B wave here, and then we could have this as wave 1 down here and coming back for wave 2 here, and then coming down for 3. So this, I mean, I was looking at a bit of a triangle pattern over here, but we could just come down like this as well. Let's just go to the 50K and where we were last time with this and check on this a little bit. Bit of a cleaner slate here. So this is what we're talking about last time we spoke, the A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up to here. So we could be trapped in, there's 2 things that could happen here. Because this is corrective, right? That means we should be taking out this low here. So that means that there's a couple of ways we could look at this. We could look at all of this as down for wave 1 here, back for wave 2, and then going much deeper down here and all of that. We either do something like that, or we're stuck in some sort of triangle here for wave B here, and then we go down into wave C here. But I think we're going lower and not higher because of this corrective pattern here, not taking this low out. I think that's it. Now this little move in here appears to be 5 waves, so we should get a push up into here. When if and when it does push up into here, what we're going to do is we're going to look for short trades in here. Now we may end up in a bit of a muddle with this being an A, B, C, D, and E here for this, but there's a good case for counting this as 5 waves down here as well. This one here is a bit of a mini version of this one up here. This is a little bit complex in here. This is a little bit complex in here. So I'm thinking that we're bearish and not bullish in all of this. So if this pushes up here, be very careful. Don't think it's going to go to the moon. it will just probably hit the atmosphere and come back as space junk. So yeah, I think we'll be looking for the short position up here for this. You can look for the long position up here as well. We've pulled back pretty much where we needed to pull back to in all of this. So let me just check on this here. Not quite yet. We're just about there on that. We're at the 61.8% at this stage. Let me just check here. See, we're at that 50-60% in there as well. Looks like a bit of an A wave here, B wave here, then 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5 to finish off in here. So my takeaway with this is, yes, we can go up here, but if we do go up here, we're going to be looking for the short trade, not the long trade. Now we could end up in a triangle pattern here, and I've got a kind of, I've got wave B here and here. There's different ways to look at that. I don't think that, let me just double check here. I don't think we need to go any higher. We're at the 61.8%. Can we look at this as the A wave, the B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and come up here? Possible. Possible. We'll see. We'll see how this little guy goes first. And we'll see if crude oil is going to breach that low, because if crude oil breaches that low, then the energy market is pulling back. We know that the energy market's pulling back from because of XOM and XLE, the energy sector, but we don't need to go into that just yet. Yeah, so look, the takeaway for natural gas is that it can move up, but don't expect it to go too far. This is a corrective pattern. It never took that low out here. That's a bit of an issue. We can see the stochastics here wanting to move back up here. So I think there's some sort of ABC pattern here. It could turn into 5 waves here, but even if it turned into 5 waves and took out this top here, I'd still want to get to be bullish. I'd still want to see that the $8 there as the support, because this can be down for 1, an A and a B, and a C wave up here for 2 here, or even another B wave up here as well. There's a couple of ways that this could play out. But whatever happens here, to the upside will be short-lived, and downside is on the cards here for this, I reckon. But in the meantime, if you see this, you can see, what have we got here? 69.50, 650. Yeah, look, a nice support on 6.3 would be the go, because that would be group 1 at that point. So $6.30. If you can see a nice support on $6.30, then you can build to the upside. You can see that it's a little bit significant here, cutting through here. So it will be that a classic trading levels pattern on top of the 630 will see you to the upside. You may be able to find a better way in and easier, and it certainly looks like it wants to go in, wants to go up at this point. And this does appear to be 5 waves here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here at least. We could get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here for this, and then we've got a larger ABC pattern here before we head on down for this. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.